is not certain, it's not guaranteed. So if, for example, your holiday plans are up in the air, it means there is some kind of problem and you might not be going on holiday after all. The person who founded the Apostrophe Protection Society is John Edwards. Now 96 years old, he has decided to give it up, partly because of his age, but also because he thinks that due to the impact of texting and social media, he has lost the battle against bad punctuation. So why has it come to this? Here he is explaining why he thinks people aren't bothered about using correct punctuation.
I think it's a mixture of ignorance and laziness. They're too ignorant to know where it goes, they're too lazy to learn. So they just don't bother. The barbarians have won.
So what's his reason?
He blames ignorance and laziness. Ignorance is a lack of knowledge or understanding of something, so people don't know the rules and are too lazy to learn them, according to Edwards.
Quite strong views there.
Yes, and you thought I was a pedant. He actually goes further to say that the barbarians have won. Barbarian is a historical word for people who weren't part of so-called civilised society. They were seen as violent and aggressive, primitive and uncivilised.
So it's not a compliment then?
Oh no.
Right, before we review today's vocabulary, let's have the answer to today's quiz. Which language does the word apostrophe come from? What did you say?
I went for Greek.
Congratulations to you and anyone else who got that right. Greek is the right answer. Now let's remind ourselves of today's vocabulary. First, what's a pedant, Rob?
A pedant is someone who corrects other people's small mistakes, particularly in grammar and punctuation. But it's not the same as an English teacher. A pedant will correct native speakers' mistakes too, and not in the classroom.
To linger means to stay somewhere for longer.
To wander is to walk around without a real purpose or intention to get somewhere quickly.
If your plans are up in the air, it means they are at risk and might not happen.
Ignorance is the state of not knowing something that should be known.
And finally, a barbarian is a word for a primitive and uncivilised person. Right, we can't linger in the studio as our 6 minutes are up. You can find more from us about punctuation and many other aspects of English online, on social media and on the BBC Learning English app. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
6 Minute English.
From BBC Learning English.
Welcome to 6 Minute English. In this programme, we bring you an expressive topic and 6 items of vocabulary. I'm Neil.
And I'm Tim. So, we had an argument just before we started the show.
We did, Tim. But no hard feelings?
None. No hard feelings is something you say to somebody you have argued with to say you'd still like to be friends. We often fall out over silly things.
Like who's going to introduce the show.
Or who's going to choose the quiz question.
But we understand each other. That's the important thing, isn't it? To fall out with somebody, by the way, is another way of saying to argue or disagree with them. Do you know that you wave your arms around a lot when you're arguing, Tim?
No, I didn't know I did that.
That isn't very British.
I know. Using gestures, or movements you make with your hands or your head to express what you are thinking or feeling, is common in some countries but not in others. Then there are some movements, like shaking your head, which mostly means no, but in some countries can mean the opposite.
That's right. In which country does shaking your head mean yes, Tim? Is it A, Greece, B, Japan, or C, Bulgaria?
No idea. I'll guess Greece. I do know that in India people shake their heads to mean lots of different things.
There are plenty of gestures you need to be careful with when you're meeting and greeting people from a culture that's different to your own, to avoid offending people or making an awkward faux pas.
If you make a faux pas, it means you say or do something embarrassing in a social situation. For example, our everyday use of the thumbs up signal might offend people from the Middle East.
And to offend means to make somebody angry or upset.
Now, let's hear from business professor Erin Mayer talking about how he